Okay, so setting the stage. Why is collagen important? Collagen is important for people with osteoporosis because it's the major protein in bone. 90% of the protein in bone is made up of collagen. So that's why it's important. Type 1 collagen in particular. Osteoporosis is all about reduced bone density, but what we're concerned about is fracture, right? It's not the bone density that we actually care about. It's the fracture risk that we care about. So collagen is the matrix that surrounds the minerals in bone. So without collagen, bone gets brittle, bone gets more likely to fracture. So that's why we care about collagen, and that's why collagen is so important. It's the most abundant protein in your body, not just the bone, but also the body.
Yep.
It's found in ligaments and tendons and connective tissue and skin and all those things. And there's between 16 and 28 types of collagen, depending on what paper you read, but there's a lot of different types of collagen. And the most important and the most structural are types 1 and types 3, and we'll get into that in a minute.
Okay.
But it's important because we don't want our bones to break. We want them to bend and we want them to be flexible.
Yes, exactly. So for those of you who are familiar with the terminology around bone quality and bone strength, this is the difference between density and quality, is that resilience and capacity to absorb forces and avoid fractures. So lots of people had questions about the kinds of collagen that we take. Is vegan collagen as effective as marine or bovine collagen?
Okay, so first of all, vegan collagen is not a thing. Vegan collagen, they're working on heavily genetically modified yeast. We can basically feed yeast collagen, bovine collagen, and they can make collagen, and that's technically vegan because it's manufactured by yeast. But let's just pretend that that doesn't exist, and vegan collagen is not a thing. If you're a vegan and you're not willing to consume cow, pork, or pig or fish products, collagen is not for you. So let's just start there, okay? What you'll see on the market is not necessarily vegan collagen, but you'll see vegan collagen boosters. And vegan collagen boosters are basically combinations of sometimes herbs, usually vitamins or phytonutrients that contribute to the growth of collagen. The major one being vitamin C. And then depending on the product you look at, there's a whole host of other options that they could add to that, but primarily vitamin C, because vitamin C is a core component of the manufacture of collagen by your body. We can also get vitamin C from food, right? So kiwis and oranges and all sorts of other fruits and vegetables, all the orange vegetables, they all contain vitamin C. So we don't necessarily have to take a vegan collagen supplement. We can just eat a healthy whole foods diet. Now, the bovine and the marine question, that's a good one. So they're appropriate for different people. So let's say someone is a pescatarian, like they're willing to eat fish, but not willing to eat mammals, right, or mammal products. Then the marine collagen would actually be a good choice. And vice versa. Let's say someone has a beef allergy. That would, the marine collagen would be a better choice than the bovine collagen. Bovine collagen would be better if someone has a fish allergy, right? Can't have fish or shellfish. That would be a pretty clear indication that that would be a better choice. But as far as absorbability and bioavailability, the marine collagen has actually been shown to be a little bit higher quality, a little bit easier to absorb, but it doesn't mean that the other one isn't great. They're both great. In fact, I encourage you to mix them up and use some of all of them so you don't develop food sensitivities because you're supplementing with proteins on a daily basis. So
you told us, so for those of you who are not in the Move Smart Method program, Erin periodically comes and gives us a great informative workshop. And you told a terrific story about using always the same kind of collagen rather than shifting. And you really recommended it's not so much about a specific brand, but that in fact it can be really good for you to alternate. There's not a best brand, best is variety.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, thanks for bringing that up, Allison. Absolutely. Best is variety. And the more you can incorporate these things from your actual diet and not supplements, the better. However, there are cases where the supplements are really, really helpful. And we'll get into that in just a second.
Okay. So what about gelatin? If we were to stick with this idea of like different options, right? So we've got bovine, we've got marine. Yeah. What about gelatin?
Okay, so I have actually all these options sitting on my desk so I can show you what they look like. So these are just some brands. We're not going to get hung up on the brands right now, but this is gelatin and this is marine collagen from the same company, Vital Proteins. Okay, gelatin, collagen. Gelatin contains collagen. Okay, so the difference between gelatin and collagen peptides is that gelatin, if we think about what collagen actually is, it's a long chain. Think about proteins as being like a pearl necklace. Think about a long pearl necklace, and we crunch it all up and it's stuffed in the corner of the jewelry box, right? That's what collagen looks like. It's highly folded and intertwined. The pearls on the pearl necklace are amino acids. So gelatin is more like this folded structure. To get to collagen peptides or hydrolyzed collagen peptides, right, what we do is we basically unfold the collagen into the pearl necklace, and they take enzymes and they chop up those amino acids into little tiny bits. So what that does is it makes these products, the collagen peptides, more bioavailable and absorbable than gelatin. Doesn't mean that gelatin is bad. Gelatin can be great. Gelatin can be easier on people's tummies. However, I do want to say that one thing about gelatin and the difference between these types of products is that when you have something that's long and folded, it's going to take more digestive power to break it down. So you need stomach acid, you need enzymes. And if you don't have those or those in adequate amounts, it's going to be much harder to break this down than this. And that's why collagen peptides have been shown in the research to be more effective for people who, especially who are older, because they're more bioavailable and they require less digestive power to break down.
Got it. Okay. All right. So this is the one everybody wants to know. What type of collagen is best for osteoporosis specifically, because that's our thing here, and how much of that collagen is recommended?
Okay, so I did some digging into the research and I wanted to refresh my memory on, what does the research say? What are the recent studies in the last couple of years? And there really is no good consensus on how much. So we'll start with a how much question. How much? I don't know, somewhere between 5 and 15 grams a day. There was significant improvements in several studies in bone density markers with 5 grams a day. 5 grams a day. Okay, that's not that much, right? That's something that you could easily stir into coffee, something you can easily add to a smoothie, mix into some water and drink it. Not very much, right? You can go up to 15 grams. So somewhere in that 5 gram to 15 gram window is what the research says. As far as types, we just talked about marine and bovine and the collagen boosters, which are the vegan option. When we're thinking about types of collagen, primarily we're talking about types 1, 2, and 3. Type 1 collagen is the most abundant found in bone, and the reason that this one would be the most effective for stimulating bone density is because they have the highest quantities of glycine, proline, and hydroxyproline. The specific the amino acids, those little pearls in that pearl necklace, are mostly those 3 amino acids, which are limited in many other foods.
Right.
So they're particularly high in collagen, which is why they stimulate bone growth. Keep in mind, when you take collagen, it doesn't just like magically go into your mouth, into your digestive system and become collagen in your body. That's not how it works. Your body actually has to break it down, digest it, absorb it, get it into your GI tract, get it out of your GI tract into your blood, and rebuild it into your body. Now, the amino acids that are in those particular proteins is what stimulates the growth, not necessarily the protein itself. But if you can't get it into your body because you don't have the stomach acid or the enzymes, it's not going to be that helpful. So that's kind of the bottom line here. Type 1 collagen for bone, best researched, best for bone. Type 3 also very good for bone. However, type 2 is what you'll often see in joint support supplements. So type 2 collagen is often derived from chicken. So like chicken bone broth would have a lot of type 2 collagen if you're going to have like a chicken bone broth soup. And that is primarily from the connective tissue. And that's what's going to best support joints. And like, let's say you have rheumatoid arthritis or, degradations in your knee, that's going to be best support the connective tissue between the bones versus the bones themselves is primarily type 1.
Right. Okay. Are Fortibone collagen peptides shown clinically to improve bone density and formation, and are there any others?
Yeah. So Fortibone is really interesting because it's actually a let's try that again. It's a proprietary ingredient in different products versus it being a product. So you can't just like go to the store and buy Fortibone collagen. It's in other things. Yeah, it's in other things. So we're not going to worry so much about it. Fortibone, it has good research. And in the studies, it's really funny because it's listed as specific collagen peptide. That specific collagen peptide is this particular proprietary Fortibone. Is it super special? Not necessarily, because the research that shows that that has good efficacy, other studies just use collagen peptides, right? Like that you can buy off the store shelf that have the same efficacy. So I don't necessarily see that we need to jump into the weeds and go find the products that have Fortibone collagen for their efficacy. What the research does show that's really interesting is that type 1 and type 3 collagen, which is, this one is type 1 and type 3. Type 1 and type 3 collagen is definitely the best for bone health. So if you're looking for the bone benefits, type 1 and type 3. If you want the joint benefits too, find one that has type 1, 2, and 3, okay?
Right.
And as far as the research also shows something really interesting, and that's that when you combine collagen with calcium and vitamin D, you actually have much better results for bone density. So it's the collagen plus the other nutrients. They have a synergistic effect. Exactly. I see your fingers, Allison, right? The synergy is really, really important because remember collagen makes up mostly the bone matrix, the protein component of the bone matrix, and then you have the mineral component. So calcium, vitamin D, and then vitamin K also make sure that the calcium gets to your bone and not your arteries.
Yes.
So it's not just about the collagen, it's the holistic picture of the diet, and this is just a little piece.
Component. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. How do we find a safe collagen supplement? And is lead contamination an issue?
Yeah, so lead contamination can be an issue in any animal product. So remember, these are coming from animal bone, right? So if there's lead in the animal bones that you're consuming, there might be lead in the product that you're consuming. So some ways to get around this: look for third-party testing, look for reputable brands, do your due diligence, do your research, go to environmental working group and see what it says about that particular product and if there's any risk for lead.
Mm-hmm.
The brands that I really like for collagen, you can see a few here on my desk. This one is NBI. It's available through my Fullscript dispensary. You can also find it online. We've got Gelatin. I really like Vital Proteins brand. They have a number of different collagen options. Other ones I like are Ancient Nutrition, Sports Research. There's a bunch of really good ones. Don't get too hung up on the details, right? When you're looking for collagen, find ones that have the type of collagen that you want. If you have joint issues, get some type 2 collagen in there too. If it's primarily bone, go for a 1 and a 3, right? So you can see that right there, types 1 and types 3. That's the big picture. That's what you really want to go for. Like, don't get so hung up on the details that it causes stress, because stress is going to cause a whole host of other issues, including poor digestion. So like, let's just take a deep breath. Let's not worry about it so much, and let's get variety in our diet. And if you want to add some collagen peptides, do your due diligence, get some good quality ones, get some reputable brands, and enjoy it because they're delicious.
Yeah. I think one of the things that you have talked about before is for people who are saying like, how do we know what is a good product? If it's non-GMO, it's,
yes.
You have kind of a list of 3 basic, it doesn't really matter what the brand is, it doesn't matter what the company is. We're looking for 3 specific indicators that this is a reasonably healthy product. What are they?
Yeah, so non-GMO is certainly one of them. Third-party testing would be the second one. And the third one would be no pesticides.
That's it.
Pesticide-free. You want to make sure that it's tested so that there's no pesticides. And that could be organic, but typically it's interesting. Typically it's collagen peptides. It's very hard to find organic collagen peptides. Right? You would think that if they were coming from an organic cow, that it could be certified organic, but it's quite difficult to find organic collagen peptides. Instead, you want to look for those 3 things. Third-party testing, you want to look for like non-GMO, and then pesticide-free.
Amazing. Okay, so let's quickly, because you need to go and see your boy do his show.
I
Does
do.
timing matter when you take collagen? So somebody is saying, can I mix collagen with creatine in a smoothie? And creatine, yes, creatine is a whole other conversation that we will have another day, but the short answer is yes, creatine is a good thing, but timing and
Mhm.
combining.
Yes. Creatine, if you really want to know, dosing 5 grams a day is awesome for bone health. Timing matters. So actually, excuse me, timing doesn't matter. The best time to take collagen or creatine for this matter, just because it's part of the question, is whenever you can remember to take it. So if you have a ritual where every morning you make coffee and you put collagen in your coffee and that's how you get your collagen in, amazing. Great. Awesome. If you want to take it before bed, there are some studies that show that it can actually benefit sleep if you take it before bed. Those short peptides can have some sleep benefits. If you want to split your dose and take half in the morning, half at night, also totally fine. Bottom line is it doesn't actually matter that much. If you want to make some fruit juice jello, like I have the recipe up here on the lid. My kids really like to make jello out of fruit juice. I typically do like 2 cups of juice of some pure 100% organic juice and then 2 cups of tea. We usually steep a pretty strong like hibiscus tea and then 5 tablespoons of gelatin to make cutouts. If you want to use like cookie cutters, or if you just want to make traditional jello using like actual good ingredients, and get some more vitamin C while you're at it, you can use like 3 tablespoons of jello. But keep in mind that gelatin doesn't mix into hot liquids very well, but this does. So use what you're going to use and just make sure that you're using it in the right format. The other thing I like to do is put collagen in smoothies. So I have a smoothie here. This is what I had for breakfast. And I put my 5 grams of creatine in there and I put 10 grams of collagen in there. And I sipped on it for the last half an hour or so, and it'll be gone after we get off this conversation. So we don't have to worry so much about it, right? The best time to take it is when you remember to take it and just make it a ritual, mix it up, and enjoy it. 5 to 15 grams. I find 10 grams is usually the sweet spot for people for collagen and bone density.
Do you think there's does your size make a difference to that? Like that 5
Yeah.
to 15, like I'm not a very big person. Some of my clients are, 5'10", but I'm only 5'2".
Mm-hmm.
Does that make a
Yeah,
difference?
totally. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so if we think about total protein needs for your body are typically somewhere between zero point 0.8 and 1.2 grams per kilogram of body weight. So if we break down our collagen needs and we divide that out, let's say our collagen needs are maybe 10% of that, right? What's 10% of that based on your body weight? So for someone like you, Allison, you might be totally fine and get the bone density benefit from 5 grams per day. And, a 190-pound, 5'10" person might need 15 grams per day, right, to get the bone density benefit, just because the total protein needs of that person are higher, right, based on their body size. And this is why the research isn't super clear. A lot more research is needed in this area, particularly with collagen and osteoporosis. There's only a handful of studies to really determine, what is the optimal quantity, how much vitamin D and vitamin K and calcium need to be paired with the collagen. Like there's a lot of nuances that aren't quite clear in the research, but it doesn't mean we can't take action and take some collagen on a daily basis and notice the benefits in our own N of 1 bone density scans the next time you get a DEXA, right? Like let's say you did this for the next 6 months, would it have an effect? Right? Especially when we combine things that you do, Allison, like weight-bearing exercise and movement. So it's a combination of all the things, and collagen is just like one little tiny part.
Yes, it is. All right. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you for sticking out while we figured out why we couldn't get you connected. Go have a lovely time watching your son's show. And thank you so much for coming. I'm going to remove you. And you guys, I'll tell you how I take my collagen as Erin moves off to do the rest of her day.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Thanks, Allison.
Okay. So really, thanks for hanging out for that few minutes while we were trying to figure that all out. So I take my collagen typically in either a smoothie or in my nighttime warm drink. So I usually do a lactose-free sort of hot chocolate kind of thing where I'll put in my 5 to 10, I will sometimes do like 1 cup of hot milk with two full scoops of collagen. You wouldn't even know it was in there. And then I use a little bit of cocoa and a little bit of nutmeg and a little bit of cinnamon and a little bit of maple syrup. And it is delicious. And that is my kind of end of day settling down, pre-bedtime warm drink treat that is also hopefully supporting my bones. So I will get this reorganized. What I might do, because there was so much difficulty getting us set at the beginning, is I might, instead of long-term just sharing the recording, I might edit the recording so that we take out all the waiting at the beginning. But if you are watching the replay later, I hope this was helpful, and you can always just pop questions into the comments below, and I'll come back in and answer them or ask Erin for answers in the future. Thanks so much for coming, everybody. Have a wonderful day, and you're welcome, Cheryl. You're welcome, Rhonda, Kimberly. But I think one of the things to really take away from Erin's work is we don't need to get too overly, superly focused on which brand, right? Just make sure it's a reputable one, and that it's okay to shift. So the story that she told, Erin came into the Move Smart group, my paid program, and she did a whole presentation of questions and answers, and we talked a lot about collagen. And she talked about the fact that she was taking marine collagen for several months and realized that she wasn't feeling great. And when she kind of dug in deeper, it turned out she had a sensitivity to cod, which was the base, the source of the collagen. And so it wasn't that she could never take it, it was just taking it consistently in that amount every day. And that was the source of her recommendation. If you are happy having both marine and bovine collagen, to shift your brand, just get your tube, use it, but then the next one you get something different company, different source, that there's lots of really good options. And then the idea that a part of how we're doing this and how we're supporting ourselves most effectively is that we're eating a really broad range of foods. We're supporting our own body's collagen production with vitamin C. We're really making sure that my mom brought me up to say, when you look at your plate, you want to have lots of colors, lots of bright colors from the rainbow, and that's the best way of making sure that you get a natural variety of vitamins, minerals, proteins, and all the other things that we need to stay healthy. So adding those supplements in really is a supplement. It's an add-on in addition to, rather than we can just take the supplements and not also have the occasional orange and kiwi. All right. Answered lots of questions. Good. Awesome. That's fabulous. I'm glad, Rhonda. All right. So have a wonderful day, and I'll get the replay up for this as quickly as I can, and I'll see you in the group later. Bye.